All right, we are recording. And I'll make sure this is sent to you all after the session is over. All right, so what we're doing now is building our dog chew toy business landing page in Google AI Studio. And so if we go to build, now we're in the back of the house within Gemini and Google AI Studio. And it's funny because people from who employed at Google and Google DeepMind, their AI department, they use this on the daily to build and showcase the tools. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our same prompt we used previously from Gemini. I can find that in my multiple tabs. So we're going to take our first prompt, copy that, and paste it here. We're also going to add in our second prompt from Miss Anne Marie, who's sitting behind me, about editing our hero section, which is the first section that you see when you're on the landing page. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add in our file. So the same image we had earlier of the design from Canva, we're just going to paste that in there. And we're going to hit build. And with Google AI Studio, it's a little bit more complex than Gemini, but you can do more things with it. And I'll share how those two are different. So for your website is made of something called HTML code. It includes it includes a bunch of things that a software engineer or a web designer would know. But right now we're just vibe coding. We're going to vibes. We're talking to the AI and let it build with us. But this here is just one large, HTML this file. And we could take this file and make a website from this, but we don't really have a good way to upload it. We do have the share button. So we were to share it, create a link. And we would have to sign into Gemini first or Google first in order to use the app, in order to use this to see the site. But we can view the site this way. And so if you all have an account on Google, you could see the same thing I'm seeing by clicking this button below. But we don't really have any options to upload our code to our own website, or to save it without having to copy and paste it. But in Google AI Studio, we have a lot more options here. So you can see a bit how the design is completely different than the one in Gemini. So we have a little bit more advanced features. This site is much more sophisticated. Yeah, Gemini AI Studio just really, it gives you a lot more pull for the things that you can do. But it also comes with errors too. Remember we said we wanted a one-pager website. We don't want other pages. So we just wanted a website where we can scroll and have different sections at. So say make this a one-page. And while that's happening, we can also see our version history by going here. We can download our app. I can hear it'll bundle all the code files together. And we see here we have a folder with files. And this was written in a language called TypeScript. So versus our one app here or website here that only had, oops, I only had one folder with almost 240 lines of code. The app within the Google AI Studio has been broken up in a folder with multiple files. And so you can't go wrong with either one, but this one is easier to manage and to maneuver and share. And so I recommend if you have a GitHub account, you can save it to GitHub, or you can deploy your app, which means you can Google will host it for free, but you will need to set up your cloud billing account within the Google Cloud, which can take a few steps. We won't get into that today. And you can share it by clicking this button and clicking copy. If you want to publish your app and have it be searchable on the web, you can click this button here. And we'll show you exactly what that looks like in a brand new tab. Oh, we're asking for our login. Great.
This is using a studio.google.com.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
So if someone, let's just say they're using Wix or Shopify, whatever, and they build their website, how does this integrate with that? Or are you saying like they should maybe migrate away from those platforms and kind of just have leverage AI studios to kind of build? Or do they work together, or are you recommending that they just use this?
Great question. I think it personally comes down to preference, because for Shopify, it takes care of a lot of back end billing for you. If I don't want to have to deal with my orders for my customers, or getting the receipts or sending out the emails or setting up those automations, Shopify is great for those kinds of tasks. If I want something that's a little bit more like design and looks pretty, I could use Google's AI Studio for that, or test something out really quickly and get feedback from. And I believe you could. There probably is a way. I haven't done it before myself, so this isn't. I might have to look this up myself, but I believe within Shopify you can edit your code. So if you want to redesign your homepage, you can take elements from these sections here in your website and paste them within Shopify. But I haven't tried that yet, so yeah, this model just dropped. But I think that would be my answer.
So, and you're recommending build within AI Studio versus going to like Gemini's main site?
Absolutely, because things can get pretty complex here as well, or can break. Let's refresh this. Yeah, because they have a shop button here, but obviously we haven't set up the back end to be able to process those orders. But if you wanted a one-page site that had information about yourself and your business, I think this would probably be a great way to go. And these are just some other examples that I made beforehand. Let's see. So this is one example where if you know the type of theme you're going for your brand or for your site, if you already have a brand board made, if you know the feel and look and tone that you want to approach your customers with, this one had a minimal, edgy, and monotone theme to it. So you can tell it's kind of got that military grade to it, built to be destroyed, which I thought was funny. So whatever your vibe is that you're going for, Gemini uh, will go with that vibe. And I didn't attach any reference images either to this. This was just a one sentence, prompt. And what's cool is you can embed AI features within your app without having to set up anything on the back end. Gemini will take care of it for you. Their API limits are very generous. So you can use their AI services for free, such as generating information or generating images, which I'll show you in just a second. So it thought ahead for me, and Gemini AI Studio was very helpful. They decided like, hey, let's put in, your kind of dog and their personality traits. Anybody have a dog in here? Anybody a dog owner? All right. Well, my brother is. He has the most hyperactive. I have a hyperactive golden doodle. I don't know what they're feeding these dogs or how they're breeding them, but this dog Bruno is super hyper. Named Bruno, who loves to tear up rope boys. And this dog is strong. He's only like barely 2 years old. So we click on the button. And we're going to get a result. And we can edit this to decide, what kind of toy fits our breed of dog within our site. So we can go back. We can click on annotate app here. And we're just going to draw a box. A very uneven box, circle thing, ellipsis. And say this the same thing. Please edit this to give personalized chew toy results for the user's breed of dog along with their personality.
Wow, like this way you'll be offering like value on your website even before they buy something.
That's a great point.
Like, which is a big deal, like, giving value before asking for money. That, I didn't even think about that. It's good.
Yeah, that's huge. And a draw to the website. If they know that they can get value before spending money, that's a draw to the site.
Can you show me where you get that drawing tool?
Yes. So that button was in the bottom left hand corner.
Like everyone can have some type of
Yeah, cool
personalized
answer.
information on your website.
And so we have another example I want to show from Mr. Warren Horton, who is here in our innovation center.
Yeah.
So Mr. Warren Horton is the owner of Virginia Beach Marble, and he and I, got together a couple days ago. He was like, "Hey, like, I wonder if AI can take a walk-in shower with a marble surround, and if we can, host this on my website and be able to change its appearance based on the type of stone or marble in finding that color." So we went through about 3 iterations of this app. We deploy this app by clicking on deploy app, selecting a cloud project, and you will have to enable Google Cloud billing, so it won't work if you try to do this off rip. So it's the one thing I don't like about AI Studio. Once we deployed it, it has its own URL. So we can send this to anyone to be able to use. And it will use the credits from my own Google account to run its image creation service. And that's called Nano Banana. So we can upload a picture of our bathroom. This is just one that we found off of Google. And we could pick a stone color. So we go with slate here and click generate visualization. Now, anybody in the world with an internet connection can take a picture of their bathroom setup and instantly get it redesigned. Boom. And what's cool is Gemini was thoughtful, right? So we can click this button right here. I didn't even notice this until day one. You click this button here, hold it, compare. We see what the before and after looked like.
So wait, is there a prompt behind this that every time you click on one of the colors, it kind of like tells it how to like generate, like only do the shower, like a standard prompt?
Yeah, so there is code functionality behind that. I believe, yeah, it's probably here in Gemini services, but I don't know how to code. I can barely write C++. But all that the prompt and response is going to be right here. Okay. So this is telling the AI exactly what to do, but I didn't write that. All I did was write.
Did you read the prompt? Maybe,
Oh, this here.
yeah, maybe if you read the prompt that you used, then I think she's asking more about the prompt that you used.
Okay.
No, I'm asking about the prompt that.
Okay.
Because if like everybody's bathroom is different, right? So there needs to be a prompt. Because when I integrate APIs, I have to like write a standard prompt so it knows what to do when something's uploaded. So that's what I was asking. Like, you gave the answer showing that, like, it's saying edit the bathroom, replace the material, I'm sure, like, of the bathroom or the shower. Yeah, shower walls. So it knows no matter what bathroom shows up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then here's where
Is the marble, yeah.
here's when it's injecting the colors.
Gotcha.
It's hosting that probably in a different file somewhere that it created.
Rest of the bathroom pictures that might exactly. Yeah, photorealistic texture. Okay.
Yeah, so it really went in depth for us. Gemini's a real MVP.
Could you show that once more if you were switching to, could you just show that real quickly, how you use it to switch from one decor of the bathroom to the other?
Absolutely. And in the code or here in the app, I'm sorry.
In the app.
Sure. So if we start from the beginning, we just do a Google search for, what was that? The surround bathroom? Shower surround. So this is how we would do it from scratch. So we would just find an image of a beautiful bathroom, walk in. This one looks kind of nice. Y'all agree?
Yeah.
We're just gonna save this image. Oh, bathroom. And now let's go back to our app. In here, we're just gonna change the photo. And this isn't even an image file. This is a .web page file. So I think it should. Oh well, it works.
Oh,
So now we're gonna pick a color, a stone color. Let's pick. Do you have one?
Oh, I said mocha.
Mocha. Warren, you got you like probably market fit. That's pretty clean.
that is pretty cool.
So this is something you integrated into your website, or y'all were just experimenting?
Yeah, we're just experimenting. Yeah, we do plan on integrating later into this new website. And yeah, that's it right there. But note that it will consume your credits, and we're doing this right now for free with other APIs such as OpenAI. For example, they would charge you each time you generate an image. With Google, it's very limited. You can find that information online. I don't have that on me at the moment, but they will let you know once you run out of credits.
So that could be something that you integrate so this like your users can only see but so many, or is this just a feature that people who have a paid plan can see? Like, how would you navigate that in terms of the credits?
Yeah, so you could add in your card in Google Cloud on the back end, so it would charge you every time an image is generated. It's pretty cheap too. So we would say right now this model, to check the model it's using, you could ask AI Studio. Or you could find it within your code. So right now it's using the 2.5 Flash image model. And all that is just your engine. That's just the engine for people watching online or here inside. That's just your engine it's using. So you would take this and we would say cost. Yeah, so right now we're using the free plan. They don't say, the only thing I know, like they don't say how much it costs. But for the paid version, 2.5 Flash. We have to find an image generation. There we go. So input price for uploading image is going to cost us 30 cents. And output price is going to cost us almost 4 cents per image.
So like what we talked about, having 3 free, and then we can charge for anyone after that. Is that
Yeah,
possible to implement?
That's what I was thinking. It could be a business model. It needs to be a business model thing, because then people go crazy just like generating images, and it's like a bunch of people doing it. That adds up. That can add up.
So we would have to edit it in the code. We could probably set up and this is where I would download I would get more serious with like a development environment app, like such as Cursor or Google dropped a new one on Tuesday called Anti-Gravity. And I would ask the AI there for more advanced vibe coding. I'm not too sure if we could run it here, but I think it's possible. So we have a payment, what it was called? The payment walls, like Stripe. There's another one called Revenue Cat. You could use those services and integrate it within your app to make that connection. But yeah, we probably talk about that after this session.
Yeah, so like potentially setting up a limit, and then once they hit that limit, it's like then they kind of
They
like,
have to pay for it.
yeah.
That's how I want mine to be set up. Like they get 3 options to choose 3 colors.
Mhm.
And after the 3rd selection, they have to pay like 20 cents per rendering.
Yeah, that's a good business plan or model to use. And I think Stripe is very friendly with AI integration and with credit services, so they can preload credits.
Right.
Back to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yep.
If you don't have the tokens, you can't play. Or Dave and Buster's for the adults on the call. So yeah, I wonder if it made.
So you're saying Google Anti-Gravity is the competitor of Cursor?
Yes, and that is going to be at. Actually, I haven't installed, but it's going to be at antigravity.google. So now we're just talking about development environment, and we won't get into that too much today. But if you have a Mac, you can download it. I've been testing it out a little bit, but even now, like I think it's just amazing the things you can do with Google AI Studio alone.
What's anti-gravity? Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, so anti-gravity, it's a development environment. So we call it an independent development environment. It's basically an app that we can use to run code directly on our laptop.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so we tested out the other day as web
You were
browsing.
saying that's like GitHub? Or-
No, so
Cursor. I was saying, is it the competitor to Cursor?
Oh, Cursor. Oh, okay.
yeah, so it's code editor that has AI functionality built in. It's directly from Google too, so it's really nice.
Mhm.
That means you probably get a lot of the benefits of all the other Google.
Mhm.
I wonder.
Yeah, is it can,
Yeah, so I don't think. Oh, I think I forgot to add this to the chat. Not sure what happened with this app there. But I just want to check the chat here, see if we have any questions. Does anyone have any questions thus far that want to leave any of our online attendees behind?
I just want to make sure you're using Gemini 3, or is this the earlier versions of Gemini?
Yeah, so we're using Gemini 3 to build our app. Please excuse all my taps. Yes, we're using Gemini 3 to build our app, but Gemini 3 is for the AI functionality on the back end. It's using 2.5 on the back end.
Is that automatically incorporated in, or are you saying the back end is something you're going to separate from 3?
The back end is something it automatically incorporated based on its own understanding, and I think that's because like my guesstimate is because this model just came out, and so
Yes.
it's using it by default. But I think because it's in a sandbox environment, the
Oh.
app itself doesn't know how to implement this model inside of the code unless we were to give it instructions or unless we pushed it to. But that's my guesstimate because it's still brand new.
Okay, since it is in sandbox mode for 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel, for your question.
I have a question in terms of, so let's just say a person's landing page, like part of it, they want to collect emails or whatever. And you mentioned something about the back end. So, do you still have to connect to like a super base to actually save the, or like, I don't know, whatever the preferred way, or are you using like N8N or Make to kind of connect that to something else to save in like a Google spreadsheet? Like how are you saving it?
That's a good question. Because you could save it in Google spreadsheet, but Google, the AI studio itself doesn't have the best, or I haven't found yet. I'm still exploring, just like you all are. I haven't tested it too much with the back end side of things, like such as its database. But I believe there is a way to set up. So if you want to collect emails in a Google Sheet, which is pretty rudimentary, but it works. You could set it up. You would just need to provide the access tokens that Google Sheets provides. Or we can ask here, because I believe in here there's maybe one of the other apps. There was a form to collect email addresses, but in here it doesn't have a direct, like a one-click connect button with Superbase. I need to find out how to do that. Yes, be honest, we're still experimenting. This is a brand new service with Gemini 3, so yeah, I'm still learning my way around it. And I think what's also cool too is you can see really amazing examples of what to build if you go on the homepage. So if you go into Gallery from Google AI Studio, you can see some apps that have already been built, or landing pages that have already been made, and they're really quite nice. Again, they don't have that standard vibe code feel to it. They're very custom, and they're very on point. And it's also nice because you can not just make websites, but also complex apps too. If you like gaming too, there's a lot of cool games you can make and create. Or you can use some of these as inspiration and build off of them if you find something you like. Like I loved the look of this website, or A Quiet Living. I mean, if you were building, an e-commerce store or something of that nature, you could build from this as a template or implement AI features with just a touch. Any questions from our online folks?
I just wanted to make sure you were saying in terms of integrating with websites already built, it does have, you said there may be provisions for doing that?
Yes, because the code is already written, you would want to check in your website if you're hosting service or the platform you use to build and manage your website, whether you can inject in custom code. Because this file right here, I would just want to download this, and we've got all this code zipped up into this folder here. And all the files will transfer over. So you will make sure that that compatibility is there. And to check, I would just ask, Gemini or ChatGPT to see if it's doable and have it walk you through step by step on how to make that transfer.
Okay,
Yeah, there's also an alternative service. I'm not sponsored by anybody as a disclaimer, but I do like the app called Replit, and they were the fastest service to build in Gemini 3 functionality within their service. So you can build an app from Replit, you can build a website from Replit, and they automatically include Gemini 3, and you can deploy it with a paid account very fast. So if you don't want to have to manage the code or go back and forth to import in things, and Replit also has a backend too, so you can implement in an email service provider or Google Sheets in just a click. So Resend is a very popular email service provider. If you wanted something to manage emails and send emails from automatically, yeah, Resend is very popular. But if you have another one like SendGrid or Mailchimp, you could connect it all to Replit. I'm gonna try and stitch it all within Google AI Studio. So yeah, there's a bunch of options out there. I don't want this to go too over the board, but I do want to share what's possible and what's available with this new Gemini 3 engine we've got. Is anybody here going to start building with Gemini 3 on AI Studio?
I am.
I will.
yeah, I'll start playing with it there. How soon did you say that the recording will be available?
I think it takes about 20-30 minutes of the processing, depending on the size. But I'll make sure to send it out.
Oh,
And I'll,
today then, okay,
yeah, you will receive it today.
all
I'll
right,
link in the chat to get started with AI Studio. Again, you can use this for free. You just have to make sure that in your Google account you are over 18. If you are not over 18, it will not let you sign up. I ran into issues with my students who I teach outside of work. So make sure that's done, or you'll need to verify your identity if you haven't already done so.
okay, thank you.
Absolutely. But for the most part, most people I teach, they don't have any issues getting into AI Studio.
So Emmanuel, when you send the recording as well, will you send, I know we had the recording and it kind of started after you started the class, but will you also send the notes and the steps to kind of take to build the website, or will you include some prompts with it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been I got notes over here in Granola. Once this meeting ends, this will populate with the entire Did that not record? Okay. I'll make sure to record. To answer your question, I'll make sure to include the prompts that we use today, and the steps, including from when we started getting in Gemini that wasn't recorded.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And if you all have any feedback for us, feel free to email us at nsuinnovation@gmail.com, or reply back to the Beehive posts for what you want to see next. We're doing these events every 2 weeks. So our next AI Tips for Entrepreneurs event will fall on December. Yep, December 5th at 12 p.m. We haven't picked a topic yet because this is still a thing. We're trying to find what tools we can best serve entrepreneurs and innovators with. So if you have any suggestions, if you have a favorite tool you want to see covered or want to see explored, feel free to let us know.
And what you said, the email again is
nsuinnovation@gmail.com.
innovation.
Also dropped it inside of the chat window.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate you all coming through.
It was awesome.
Appreciate it. All right, everyone. We'll catch you next time. Thank you so much for joining in.
Good, good. It's like, to see you over.